What's up everybody, welcome to the video. Today we're talking about the top 3 reasons as to why your diet may not be working for you. And so I've put this list together based off of my experience as a personal trainer working with clients, particularly new clients, especially in the beginning phases of training when we're really trying to assess why they haven't been seeing the results they want to see on their own, particularly in regards to their nutrition regimen. Okay, so if you guys have any nutrition questions while we're going through this video, please comment down below. I'd be happy to answer those. And without further ado, let's get into it. So the most common reason that I see people's diets failing them is simply because they're eating way more than they think that they actually are. And this is really easy to do, and it can be done in a number of ways. And one of those ways is simply that we're underestimating our serving sizes with some of our foods. And this is really easy to do with foods like pastas and peanut butters. You can look at a serving of pasta on your plate, especially when you go out to eat. You can look at that serving and think, oh, this is just one serving of pasta, when in reality it might be 2, 3, maybe even 4, depending on how big that plate is. Okay, and then with foods like peanut butter, it's really easy to think, that you're having one serving of peanut butter, which is typically 2 tablespoons, and you might think, oh, this is a small spoonful, this is only half a serving, when in reality that might be the one serving right there. And if you're having 2 spoonfuls, that's 2 servings of peanut butter right there when you think that you're having just one. Okay, so this is one way that we can be underestimating our calorie intake. Another way is basically by pre-qualifying certain foods as healthy, and then in reality those foods actually are way more energy dense than we think that they are, meaning they contain way more calories than we think that they do. A good example of this would be salads, right? If we're going out to eat, we're thinking to ourselves, I'm gonna eat healthy tonight, I'm gonna have a salad, when in reality that salad may have more calories than some of the other menu items that restaurant offers. And this can be because essentially they've put dressings on these salads that are very energy dense. They can be very high in fat, high in carbs, and then in addition to that, they're also gonna throw a lot of times nuts and cheese on these salads, which can up those calories as well. Okay, so when it comes to overestimating our food intake, the solution is really to be measuring out our food and then to keep a food log too. So I measured out, going back to pasta, I measured out a serving of pasta, and you really want to measure it out dry. So typically one serving of pasta is about 2 ounces or 1 cup. So this is about 1 cup of pasta. So when this is actually cooked, it's going to be slightly bigger than my fist, so it's really not a big serving at all. And so if you're not measuring out the pasta that you're going to be cooking before you're actually pouring it into the pot with the boiling water, it's really easy to actually underestimate how much you're really cooking, right? So it's very important to measure out your food before you're actually cooking it or when you're cooking it. And then from there, keeping a food log, like I mentioned, there's a lot of really good apps out there that make it super easy to keep a food log, so you're not writing everything down on a, with pen and paper, right? So an app that I use is just MyFitnessPal, super easy to use, user-friendly, and it's a free app too, so I'd recommend getting MyFitnessPal. And so the second most common mistake that I see people making with their diets is that they're actually eating at too severe of a caloric deficit for too long a period of time. Okay, so basically what's happening is when you're at a deficit for so long, your metabolism actually starts to slow down because it's trying to combat this deficit that you've been in, because your body doesn't necessarily understand that you're at a diet, and it's coming from an evolutionary standpoint where it doesn't want to lose weight because it doesn't want to die, essentially. Okay, so if you've been at a caloric deficit for a prolonged period of time, you will eventually start to see your metabolism slow down. And this is actually very common. A lot of people that I start training with, when we start taking a look at their food, we find that they're actually eating maybe just 1,000 calories a day and they're struggling to lose weight. Okay, and this can be kind of scary, and it can be really frustrating because you're really not eating a lot of food and you should be losing weight, but you're not, and you can't figure out why. And so the way that we want to combat this and fix it is to slowly introduce calories back into the diet and to build that metabolism back up to a healthier level where you're essentially maintaining your weight while having a healthier amount of calories per day, having a larger amount of calories per day. And so once your metabolism is back to a healthier state, we can start approaching that diet again and slowly cutting back on the calories to get to that healthier body weight, that healthier body fat percentage that we're looking for. But the second most common reason is that you're actually eating too little. And so the third most common reason that people's diets are failing them is because they've found an approach that just wasn't sustainable for them. Okay, so they probably lost weight initially, or maybe during the stretch of that diet, whether it was a month, 6 months, they lost the weight that they wanted to lose. But after that diet was over, they reverted back to their old habits and eventually gained all that weight back. And in some cases, they gained even more weight back than they lost. Okay, and so the way that we want to combat this, the solution to this, is to find a diet that isn't really a diet and it's more of a lifestyle, something that we can stick to every single day for the rest of our lives, because that's what's not only going to bring us the results, but that's what's going to allow us to hold on to those results and also live the happiest life possible. Because there's really no point in going on a diet if we're gonna be miserable and if we're not gonna be able to stick to it, because no matter how much weight we lose, we're very likely to gain that weight back. Okay, so the solution here is to find a diet, find an approach, a nutrition plan that you're happy with and that you can see yourself doing every single day for the rest of your life. And so I'll leave you guys off with this. If you're on a diet right now, or if you're thinking about starting a diet, when you're approaching it, ask yourself a couple of questions. Am I happy with the foods that I'm eating? Am I seeing the results that I want to see? And is this something that I can see myself doing for the next year, 5 years, 10 years, for the rest of my life? If you're answering yes to all three of those questions, then you're probably doing something right. Now, the world of nutrition and training is super nuanced, and there's no one correct way of doing things, and there's no one wrong way of doing things either. But it's important to remember to be patient with yourself and to give yourself time to see those results, okay? No one sees results week after week after week the way that they want to. There will very likely be weeks where you don't see the results that you want to see. But that's okay, you just have to be patient and keep pushing forward to the following weeks and see those results come in then. And if they don't, go back to the drawing board and make some adjustments, but you don't necessarily need to abandon your plan. Sometimes things just take time, or they take minor adjustments, and that's really what the body will respond best to. And that's all for the video, guys. Thank you for watching. I'll leave a link in the description below to my website for anybody looking for more help on nutrition and training. I hope that you enjoyed the video. Please like, please comment, please subscribe. Please comment down below videos that you want to see me do, and please leave any nutrition questions that you might have in the comment section, and I'll be happy to answer those too. All right, thank you for watching.